Let's start off with, what are the consequences of fragmented sleep?
Yeah, there's many, and this is a great way to start our conversation, Morgan, because once we understand the consequences of not prioritizing sleep, then we can heighten our awareness with respect to things that we want to do to try to get it back again and enjoy optimal health, that's for sure. But when we look at the studies out there, they will report, Morgan, things like men with a sleep disorder that have a 2 to 3 times higher risk of having a heart attack, or a 1 to 4 times higher risk of having a stroke. What's the correlation between fragmented sleep and higher risks of heart attacks and strokes? We also know that the data will tell us that people who suffer from sleep deficiencies, Morgan, are involved in over 30% of fatal car accidents. In the United States now, they have actually deemed sleep deprivation as the number one cause of motor vehicle deaths. That's a pretty significant consequence. We also know that people who routinely get less than 6 hours of sleep per night have a doubled risk for getting cancer. And in fact, the World Health Organization has deemed shift work to be a class 2 carcinogen. So that means if you are a shift worker, like that, when you're a class 2 carcinogen, there's a direct correlation between shift work and higher rates of cancer, which doesn't impress me because 2 of our kids are nurses, Morgan, and they're married to firefighters and paramedics. So we need to get this figured out as a family, but we need to get this figured out as a larger community for sure. Now, the other thing, Morgan, is that we know that if you have a shorter sleep duration, we're going to talk about what good sleep is later on, but shorter sleep duration is predictive for a lower work rate and a slower completion of basic tasks. So personally or professionally, we don't perform at the highest level. And also, duration of sleep is directly correlated to self-control, our mood. Whether or not we're that individual that gets up on the wrong side of the bed in the morning, Morgan, whether we've got that short fuse. So, boy, it's unbelievable that we get really, really good sleep because the consequences of not doing so are quite dramatic.